Mr. President, can you be specific about what you did to try to reappropriate those border funds, especially when Democrats controlled both chambers of Congress?
The wall thing? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they passed. Well, I was told that I had no choice, that Congress passes legislation to build something, whether it's an aircraft carrier, a wall, or provide for a tax cut. I can't say I don't like it. I'm not going to do it.
I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's a broken promise. But additionally, let's say you completely disagree on this. You could build a great big Trumpy wall on the entire U.S. southern border, and it's still not going to fix this problem. And I'll tell you why. The U.S. and U.S. foreign policy is contributing to the displacement of millions of people in South America to begin with. And if we do not address the migrant crisis at its root, it is still going to continue to be a problem.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Biden doing a complete 180 and turning into a MAGA extremist by deciding to continue to build Trump's racist border wall in response to the illegal immigration crisis getting out of control. Okay, the Biden administration is basically talking out of both sides of their mouth at the same time. Biden is saying, well, I still don't believe walls work, but we're going to keep building the border wall anyways, right? Again, truly fascinating stuff. It really is. The gaslighting is incredible. But Biden has received a whole lot of pushback from Democrats for different reasons. And in this video, we're going to talk about Bill Maher and his pushback against Joe Biden, and AOC and her pushback against Joe Biden, because it is interesting to see the Democrats deal with the overt hypocrisy of the Biden administration doing something that he promised that he would not do. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play this clip of Bill Maher discussing the hypocrisy of Biden continuing to build Trump's border wall and the sanctuary city policies that a lot of these mayors, Democrat mayors in these liberal cities are now boo-hoo-whan and crying about. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from a friend of the show, Noble Gold. Do you want to take control of your financial future, but you don't know where to start? Well, trust me, Noble Gold understands. Investing in precious metals may sound confusing, but the team at Noble Gold Investments makes it easy. Let's hear from actual Noble Gold investment customers. Quote, the staff answer all my questions and help me every step of the way. Quote, no pressure, sales tactics, just honest guidance. Quote, securing my future is less stressful thanks to Noble Gold's expertise. Don't settle for financial uncertainty. They'll suggest options to see if you can diversify into gold and silver. And right now, Noble Gold Investments is offering a free 5-ounce silver America the Beautiful bullion coin for qualifying accounts and rollovers. Don't settle for financial uncertainty. Noble Gold Investments has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless of 5-star reviews. So why wait? Go to noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. The only gold company I trust. And just remember, there's a risk with every investment and there's no guarantee of any kind.
Let me get back to the border issue politically, because I feel like this is a disaster for the Democrats. Because one, Trump today said he wants Biden to apologize because it looks like Biden is adopting his policy. This does not look good for the Democrats. Also, they look like sanctuary city hypocrites. They were the ones who said, look, we're the compassionate people. Everybody should get a shot here. And then when they started sending, the quotes from Eric Adams, this is the mayor of liberal New York, this issue will destroy our city. The governor, if you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. Keep walking, is from the governor of New York. They put out a flyer, New York City Now, says New York is one of the most expensive cities in the world. You are better off going to a more affordable city. And also, the club scene is dead. But I mean, there is a little, I understand a little, I told you so from the people on the border.
I mean, I'm from Texas. I actually think it's a little bit even worse than what you're saying, because not only were they saying, oh, we're sanctuary cities, we provide housing to everyone, we'll guarantee health care and education, but definitely don't come here. But they were also saying, if you're in Texas and don't want that, you're racist, you're a bad person. And now that they're having just the smallest fraction, there were 2 million border crossings last year. New York, which is by far the largest number, has 110,000 people. And they're like, oh my God, our hospitals won't work. Our education system is falling apart. Well, what happens? I mean, they need to apologize to Texas.
Also, let's keep in mind,
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? One thing I love about that clip is that it confirms that it's not just conservatives or Trump supporters or Republicans or whatever that can see the clear and obvious hypocrisy coming from the Democrats when it comes to this issue of the border and illegal immigration and sanctuary cities, okay? I mean, all the videos I've done have essentially called out the hypocrisy of the left on this issue, which is blatant. But again, it's just nice to see even people on the left, liberals like Bill Maher, seeing this and like, damn, yeah, you guys are hypocrites on this issue, which tells me everything you need to know about how dire of an issue this is for the Biden administration at this point. And this is a losing issue, okay? It is an issue that I think may decide the 2024 election. I mean, there could not be a better storm of things happening in Trump's favor. I mean, it's to the point now where, hey, there are discussions, legit discussions on the liberal side of the aisle about whether or not Democrats owe Republicans or Trump an apology for them constantly boohoo, whining, and crying about the border wall. Now, there was actually somebody who did boohoo, whine, and cry at the border wall, AOC, right? Who is a Democrat. You guys remember these pictures right here of her doing this? Okay, all this fake crying. Okay, this stunt that she pulled that, for whatever reason, she doesn't want to pull on the Biden administration. But she's upset with Biden for reversing course on the border wall. So let's talk about it, because she's, again, trying to deflect blame here from the Biden administration and trying to say that, well, it's not our fault or it's not Biden administration's fault. It's actually the Republicans' fault, because apparently we're not supposed to fix the southern border. We're supposed to fix Mexico, Guatemala, Panama, Colombia, Venezuela, right? All of Central and South America. That's what we're supposed to do according to AOC, because that's where the real problem is, right? Is those countries are so destabilized that's what's sending migrants to the border. So apparently we're supposed to fix all of those countries instead of actually fixing the border, right? According to AOC. So let's read here. President Biden's decision to resume building the border wall he was so strongly against is being ripped by his own party, with Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez demanding he, quote, reverse the course and stop his cruel policy. Again, if it's so cruel, AOC should show up to the border and cry about it, right? I'm so serious. The New York Democrat fired off a statement Thursday taking the Biden administration to task for waiving 26 federal laws to speed up the construction of new sections of the border wall in Texas in a bid to keep migrants out. Quote, the Biden administration was not required to expand construction of the border wall, and they certainly were not required to waive several environmental laws to expedite the building, the Bronx and Queens lawmakers stated. Quote, the president needs to take responsibility for this decision and reverse the course. The progressive rep maintained that, quote, a wall does nothing to deter people who are fleeing poverty and violence from coming to the United States. Quote, walls only serve to push migrants into remote areas, increasing the chances of death. It is a cruel policy, she continued. No, what's actually cruel is incentivizing these migrants to make that journey through Central America, where a lot of them end up getting trafficked, they end up getting hurt, they end up getting kidnapped, they end up in all types of bad and terrible situations, okay? That's actually what the bad thing here is. So with that being said, again, I am encouraging AOC to do what she was doing before. If you hate the fact that Biden is building a wall, then go and boohoo, whine, and cry about it at the border, please, right? Go take a photo shoot at the border like you did before and boohoo, whine, and cry about it. Now, there are some Democrats like Joe Manchin, who's more centrist Democrat, that does think that continuing to build a wall is a good idea.
The Democrats have to come to grips that we have to close that border down. We have got to have border security. And I would implore the president and his administration to call a national emergency on the border. We have a crisis. And this asylum basically should be put on hiatus for 6 months or so till we can get an immigration policy that works for our country and also gives people the chance to come here the right way to take care of themselves and their family. But you got to recognize that. You just can't say, well, we're blind to that and this is everything. But Ukraine is pay me now or pay me later, and we've talked about that. If we don't support Ukraine now, it's the best investment that we can make to get world peace. If not, Putin continues to move. They move into the Baltics, into Poland, into NATO. We're committed at that time to go help our allies.
Yeah, so again, this guy, he sounds like the stereotypical Republican in the Senate, right? Oh, well, you know, we got to secure the border, but we also got to fund Ukraine as well, too. But, you know, hey, at least he is a Democrat that is demanding to actually have the border secured. I guess you can give him points for that. But anyways, there's some Democrats, I mean, you know, people who, you know, claim that they're Republican or Republicans in name only, like Ana Navarro, who thinks that Democrats shouldn't talk about the border at all. In fact, they should talk more about Bidenomics.
Look, part of the reason that the messaging is bad, I think, from Democrats, and I agree with you that they could do a lot better in tooting their own horns. Today, the job numbers came out. They are astounding. 330-something thousand more new jobs. And Democrats in Congress, a lot of them, instead of focusing on that and celebrating that, the accomplishments, are talking about 20 miles of wall. So let me put it in context. The border with Mexico is 1,954 miles long. Right. This is a 20-mile segment, which makes it 1%, basically, of that border. Look, I think a lot of this is not about reality. I think it's about symbolism and perception. There is a problem. There's a perception in Latin America that this administration is more open to immigration, to undocumented immigration. I think they are trying to send a strong message, and it's not just with the wall. Yesterday, they made some sort of deal. I don't know what it is. I want to hear what it is with Venezuela, with the dictator in Venezuela, Maduro, and they're going to start deporting Venezuelans because the 4 countries that are sending the most immigrants are Haiti, which is a disaster, Nicaragua, a dictatorship, Cuba, a dictatorship, Venezuela, a dictatorship. The United States can't fix Latin Americans' dictatorship.
I don't think we should.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Ana Navarro thinks that Democrats shouldn't talk about the border at all. In fact, they should talk about Bidenomics, right? Talk about the new jobs report that the mainstream liberal media was drooling over. Oh, God, this is proof that the economy is doing so well. Except when you actually look at the jobs report, a significant portion of the jobs were government jobs, okay? And also, the other significant portion of the jobs report, the jobs that were added, were part-time jobs. Full-time jobs actually went down 22,000, right? So again, I'm trying to figure out exactly why is this jobs report so good if most of the jobs were government jobs and part-time jobs. So again, this is why they're not talking about Bidenomics, because again, there's nothing good to talk about when it comes to Bidenomics. But you know, as you can see here, you know, Democrats across the spectrum have various opinions on the border, but most of them are admitting, unless they're delusional like AOC and other Democrats like, you know, Ayanna Pressley as well too, they are admitting that it's a problem, right? That it is an issue, and it's gotten to the point now where Democrats have been forced to act. They have to act. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm going to be stunned, okay, if this problem continues, if Democrats fail to fix the issue. I'm going to be stunned if this is not the number one issue in 2024 when it comes to the election, because I think a lot of people are realizing the writings on the wall that our country is being invaded. And again, when you see people like Bill Maher and even Ana Navarro, Joe Manchin, when you start to see a lot of these people get on board and say, you know what, you're right, we got an issue on our hands, then you know it's bad, right? You know it's bad, okay? Biden's building the rest of the wall. Yeah, that means that they understand that they're losing, okay? And this is an issue that can cost them in 2024. Again, I will be shocked, okay, if this is not one of the number one issues in 2024. But who knows, you know? Apparently, abortion is more important to liberals, more specifically liberal women, than actually protecting the country from an invasion. But hey, Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.